2 years since the video on Dynasty Warriors 2, and 5 years since I recorded that game, I'm finally moving on to Dynasty Warriors 3. While I had owned a copy of this game since 2010, got at the same time as my Dynasty Warriors 2, I never touched that copy until August 2022 to record it for this channel. What I intend to do here, I will complete every Musou mode for every character, fully level them all up and obtain every weapon and item in the game. Then I will transfer my save over to Dynasty Warriors 3 Extreme Legends and do all the new content on that version, along with the bits that don't transfer over. This is the first of 2 videos covering the characters of the Shu Kingdom. This first part only having the first 3 characters due to the amount of stuff they'll be covering for the first time for me to explain. I will go a character at a time. When I reach a repeated stage on a subsequent character's Musou mode, I'll skim over it and only go into detail on important new stuff or other comments. The method I used for Dynasty Warriors 2 won't work due to the item collection and keeping track of that so I don't miss anything important. To begin with, I start with 15 characters. This is more than normal due to the game rewarding me with some extras for having Dynasty Warriors 2 data on the same memory card. For the Shu Kingdom, I start with Chao Yun, Quan Yu, Chang Fei, Ma Chao and new character Wei Yan. The Wei Kingdom starts with Xiahou Dun, Dian Wei, Xu Chu and new characters Chang He and Chen Ji. Finally, the Wu Kingdom starts with Chou Yu, Lu Xun, Sun Shangxiang and new characters Huang Gai and Da Chao. But as I said, Shu Kingdom this video and going in character select screen order, so I start with Chao Yun. Rather than all characters in a kingdom sharing the same 5 stages in Musou mode, every character has their own set of 7 stages. This makes things a bit more historically accurate, though I believe there are plenty of cases of people taking part in battles they weren't even alive for. So instead of having to play through the Yellow Turban Rebellion and Hulao Gate, which he wasn't at, Chao Yun's Musou mode starts at the Battle of Changban in autumn 208. This stage starts with a cutscene of Liu Bei lamenting his people's situation, until reports that they are under attack by Cao Cao, or Cao Cao as the game keeps calling him. Yeah, this is one of those games where the English dub is pretty infamous. Like the previous game, each stage has an introduction to fill you in on the context of this battle. In 208, Cao Cao decides he's going to invade the Jing province, while Liu Bei is charged to protect Fan Castle. Without good odds for survival, Liu Bei flees with his remaining troops and people, but now Cao Cao's army is getting close, so he has to fight to give his people the chance to escape. I start around the northeastern section of the map. Gameplay is similar with some changes and upgrades from 2, but they aren't apparent at first. That's because I start with a simple 4-hit combo with square and 3 combo enders when pressing triangle after any of the first 3 attacks. My moveset is incomplete until I acquire and equip stronger weapons, which also makes it another game where the start is the most painful. Chao Yun feels pretty similar to how he did in 2, just more fun because the gameplay itself is improved. He still lacks any big weaknesses while also having good range thanks to his spear. I head north to take on Xiahou Dun, and here we get to see how badly off you are as a starting character with no stat boosts, a weak weapon and an incomplete moveset. Even with my Musou attack clearing some space a bit, I'm doing minimal damage to the first officer I'm fighting, while he's getting me in combos and wrecking me. My first bit of gameplay and I'm killed in 2 minutes with only 7 kills of my own. Next time I run around this area taking out smaller groups of enemies to prevent myself from getting surrounded while fighting Xiahou Dun. But I'm still at a point when certain non-officers can take a bit to kill and deal me some heavy damage. That and Xiahou Dun is not the only officer in this section. Zhang Liao is here too. He's just as much a threat and I'm forced to flee to look for healing items. But that gets me near Xiahou Dun and now I have 2 officers after me. They both gang up on me, with Xiahou Dun launching me to finish me off. A much better 75 kills this time. I try the same strategy next time, just making sure to avoid Xiahou Dun after alerting Chang Liao. I keep picking off both officer soldiers, working my way up their ranks until I have 100 kills. I run in to take on Chang Liao now his forces are thinned, but Xiahou Dun gets involved anyway. They trap me against a wall with their horses and batter me, but freeing myself with my Musou attack lets me grab a nearby full recovery item. I thought I got them to separate, but as soon as I approach one, the other comes charging in. So I try to focus on Chang Liao. One good thing about fighting the playable officers is that unlike 2, they can't just grant themselves a free buff or heal after every single time they get knocked down. They do however have a limited amount of buffs and heals they can grant themselves whenever they like, but as I said, they're limited at least. I keep trying to lure him away to fight him alone, but he's too smart for that, so I just keep getting a few hits in and running away to give myself room to breathe. There was one terrifying part where I get him in a combo only for Xiahou Dun to come charging in and wipe out a massive chunk of my health. While looking for some health, I get a cutscene. Cao Cao has arrived with his main force and has filled most of the section I've been clearing out back in with more enemies. When at low health, Chao Yun's Musou attack has a flame effect that on hit causes continued damage for a few seconds afterwards. I use it to take out an officer, but it's just Yue Jin, a generic. Officers still drop permanent stat boosts at least. Permanent as long as I finish the stage anyway. Right after I gain the attention of Cao Cao as well, so I run. I get another cutscene showing Liu Bei's fleet arrive. Liu Bei tells me to flee, but I don't think I've ever finished the stage that way. I just stay in this section trying to shrink that army. I make sure to take out one of the gate captains up north to cut off any reinforcements from that way. They still grant defense boosts. The bow is still in the game and just as awkward, but I at least get more use out of it as I shoot Xiahou off his horse. This time I manage to bring him down. As with the last game, characters who are supposed to appear in later stages will get up and flee when defeated. I'm told my allies are in trouble, so I head south across the bridge where I run into Xu Chu. I knock him off his horse and keep running west. Then north to reach the centre of the map to take on more officers. The generic Sha Ho En goes down. He drops an item, of which there are many to collect. Further west I take on Sha Ho Yuan. He very quickly leaves me in the red. I keep running and looking for health while what I have left is slowly whittled away. I get lucky when some of the AI soldiers on my side stun him for the second I need to get in a Musou attack to finish him off. He drops a weapon. I finally find some health recovery and run back the way I came. Generic officer Cao Hong is defeated. I start off well fighting Xu Chu before he takes most of my health, but an enemy dropped a War God's Axe for a 30-second attack stat doubling. I use it to finish him off. I chase the generic Li Dian who was under him, but he flees. But this does give me a chance to secure the southern gates. Generic officer Cao Ren comes down for a fight, but he doesn't last long. I go back north across the bridge to remove the soldiers surrounding Cao Cao. Zhang Liao even comes running in for me to quickly defeat him. This leaves Cao Cao as the only named opponent nearby. He's strong though. He can easily kill me, while even with the few stat boosts I've gained, I still do minimal damage. I make a habit of knocking him away and then taking out the nearby soldiers in between to stop them poking me out of my attack animations. His personal guards are also a problem as they also have very high defense. Once most of his soldiers are dead, I tend to let him get distracted by mine and attack those, then I come in from behind to get some hits in and repeat that pattern. All the while the game keeps nagging me that Liu Bei is gonna die and fail the stage for me soon. It gets very stressful when I get Cao Cao's health low during all this and then he heals himself, but through pure stubbornness and praying that Liu Bei keeps himself alive, I eventually bring Cao Cao down. He flees like all the others and the stage is complete. Changban is a tough first stage to start with, but once I got used to it I found it more enjoyable than its frustrating predecessor in Dynasty Warriors 2. It's also visually far less hideous. That was 38 minutes and 33 seconds altogether. I gained duplicate spears, Chao Yun's default weapon, along with his second weapon, a long spear. I can only have one other weapon at a time, but I'm not going back to the normal spear, so the stat boosts they have don't matter. For new items I gain a Peacock Urn that increases my max HP, this one by 13. My points are added up based on my performance and I gain another 4600. I start at class 16 and these promote me to class 13, giving my bodyguards a little attack and defense boost. Stage 2 for Chao Yun is the battle at Chebi in Winter 208. The cutscene to this one has Zhuge Liang splitting off from Liu Bei and his brothers to meet with Qiu Yu to discuss the plans for the upcoming battle. Liu Bei survived at Changban and managed to escape to Xiakou to find the Wu Kingdom's Lu Su waiting for them. This allows an anti-Cao Cao force to get off the ground. Zhuge Liang travels to Wu territory to convince Sun Quan to join with Xu against Cao Cao rather than surrender like he was considering. This leads to Zhuge Liang and Qiu Yu to prepare a strategy to take on the Wei Kingdom's massive fleet. I start, having forgotten to equip my Peacock Urn and my new weapon. The stage starts with Zhuge Liang at his fire, preparing to conjure the winds. I start in the southwestern corner on the shore, taking out a few enemies here including the bowmen, my biggest nemesis. I take out the gate captain in this corner and then get on the nearest boat. It's filled with bowmen and as I take them on, Zhuge Liang starts controlling the winds, to Qiu Yu's amazement. A few seconds later I get a cutscene every character gets of them praising the wind and declaring the time for counterattack. As I clear out this boat I have another run-in with Sha Ho Yuan. I'm stronger than I was in the last stage so I take him out easier than I did first time, making him flee again. I cross the boats going east so that I can take on this huge red mass going north marked on my map. As I take on Cao Pi's unit, Zhuge Liang's winds carry the burning ships Qiu Yu sends out, catching the Wei fleet on fire and wiping out a massive chunk of the army. It also adds some new platforms to the centre of the stage, allowing for an easier cross forward towards Cao Cao's ship. I defeat Cao Pi and then heading towards the southern shore is Li Dian, so I deal with him too. I head all the way north to the northwestern shore. There I end up taking on a combination of soldiers from Cao Cao's and Chang Liao's unit, along with defeating Cao Hong. While emptying this area, it turns out Cao Cao fled here and I attract his attention. I fall back a bit, taking out Cheng Yu who was hanging around here. I head east onto the northern burning ships. There I take down Cai Mao. Heading south sees me taking on Chang Liao again. Despite how well I was doing before, Chang Liao defeats me and loses 25 minutes of progress. People watching who are familiar with this game may think many times throughout all this that I never had to start all these long stages back from the beginning every time. I will eventually know that, but it won't be for a long time and not in this video, so please bear with me. This time I equip my long spear and peacock urn. The second weapon allows that character to perform a 5 attack combo, with the combo ender for the 4th attack being a launcher. You'd think things would go better, instead I'm killed by Xiahou Yuan's officer Yu Jin near the beginning. Third time I do better and kill most of the same officers, including the ones I didn't before, like Man Chong. Instead of going for the shore, I head to the centre of the stage where I take out Jia Shu, a generic officer I definitely remember being playable by Orochi 3. Cao Ren was one of those too. I run into Shu Chu and take him out much faster than I did at Changban. Soon after I get a cutscene where Cao Cao's army gains reinforcements. They mostly come pouring in from the northeast, so I start fighting in that direction. I end up fighting 2 officers at once here, Yu Jin and Shun Yo. One of them knocks me into a suit of armour, which grants double defence for 30 seconds. Sun Quan tells me I'm too far ahead and to fall back, but then I kill both officers within seconds of each other. I get off the boat and claim the northeastern gate. I then run south down the eastern side of the stage, having my first encounter with Xu Huang, who was at Changban, but I didn't find him then. He ends up being a pushover, even with the amount of soldiers backing him up. He barely fights back until he's nearly defeated, at which point it's too late for him. I get back on the boats and run along the centre again, running into Xiahou Dun. I was wondering where he was, considering the vast majority of enemies I was fighting were being listed under his unit. Taking out all those other officers and gaining their stat boost was very helpful, as he doesn't last long against me this time. Only Cao Cao and Chang Liao remain. I debate even going after Chang Liao considering what he did first time, but I go for it. I soon regret it as I end up with very little health. Cue a few minutes of me scrambling all over the map looking for any health refill and finding only arrows most of the time. Nearly 5 minutes later I'm healed and I run back in there to bring him down. On my way to Cao Cao I take out Cao Hong again. I take him on and it's like a repeat of the Changban fight. He barely even takes any more damage from my attacks than he did then. I have nothing left to say other than thanks to his high defense and his free heals, it takes 8 minutes to defeat him alone. He flees once again. Turbi is a fun stage in small doses. The thing with this one is that it's overused, since all 3 kingdoms play a part in it. The vast majority of the cast have this stage in their Musou mode, so when you're going through 100% like I am, you may get sick of seeing it. No interesting weapons, but for items I gain a tortoise amulet that increases my defense by 6, a Huang's bow that increases my bow attack by 17, and a 7-star orb that increases my luck stat by 1. I killed more officers, so I end up earning 6,000 points. I jump up to class 10, giving my bodyguards a big boost in health and Musou. Xiao Yun's 3rd stage is a new one to the series, the assault on Chengdu in summer 214. Not all stages are huge, as there are some smaller scale stages on smaller maps like this one. In the year 211, a messenger from one of Liu Bei's relatives, Liu Chang from the Yi province, visits Liu Bei in the Jing province requesting reinforcements. The Yi province was a fertile land, but the people were not happy with Liu Chang's weak rule, and even Liu Bei's own camp suggests he should take Yi for himself. He reluctantly decides to take it. I equip my 3 new items since I can have a maximum of 5 and start the battle. The stage starts with Zhuge Liang and new character Pang Tong trying to talk Liu Bei into taking over the province. They convince him that the only way to stand against Wu and Wei is to own Shu. Pang Tong tells him that if he doesn't, Cao Cao will definitely come out on top. The gameplay starts with me getting lost in a forest. As long as you are on the eastern side of the map, inside the forest, your minimap will not appear on screen, so I have to make my own way through it. But I can still pause to see where I am on the big map, and I find I'm going in completely the wrong direction. On my side I also have Pang Tong running west along the southern route, which will be important. I run west along the middle using the pause screen to guide me until I run into my first officer, Leng Bao. This is the first stage where every enemy officer is a generic. There are no playable characters to fight on this stage. Leng Bao is easy, and I keep moving west. I make it out of the forest and get my minimap back. Meanwhile, Pang Tong has reached the village Luo Feng Po. This causes Chang Ran's unit to appear and surround Pang Tong. I do not help and leave them to it. As I take out some archers and approach the officer Li Yan, Pang Tong collapses in defeat. Li Yan is also easy to defeat and I keep moving. Not much further on is Liu Xun, who watched me kill Li Yan and never thought to help out himself. He goes down even faster. I reach the gate leading to the western end of the stage where Liu Chang is waiting for me to take him on. However, I haven't been paying well enough attention to the entire map, as Liu Bei suddenly drops dead from enemy attacks without me noticing he was ever in danger. Next time, after defeating Leng Bao, I head south from there, staying in the forest and taking on Deng Xiang's unit, the ones I just ignored and let batter Liu Bei to death last time. I wipe them out, and instead of running through the middle of the stage, I take the southern route to help out Pang Tong. I escort him to Luo Feng Po, and I'm there when Chang Wen's ambush party appears so I can keep him alive. But I fail to keep myself alive and an arsehole archer kills me. I still hate them, maybe even more than I did in 2. I try the same strategy for my third attempt, just playing smarter and targeting the archers first to get them out of my hair while I deal with the rest. I take down the entire unit and then head west and uphill to reach Chang Wen himself and kill him. I steal a nearby horse, which are still pretty awkward to fight with and should only be used for faster travel. Pang Tong's southern route is cleared out, so I don't have to babysit him anymore. I head back and take on the upper middle route, defeating Li Yan and Liu Xun once again. I then take the lower middle route, removing Liu Han and his unit from the battlefield, getting rid of any unit that can attack Liu Bei while I'm not looking. Taking out all those officers results in a special item being delivered to the southwestern corner of the map. All that's left is Liu Chang, and I take out the middle gate captain that he usually hangs out near. I head all the way south and find that special item inside a box. I don't even have to fight Liu Chang. If I take just about everyone else out, he will surrender, claiming that it's pointless to spill any more blood. He admits he was not capable of governing Chengdu and hands it over. I'm glad for these smaller stages. It makes repeated stages in later playthroughs less tedious, when not all 7 stages you're probably repeating could end up 30 to 50 minutes long. I finished that stage with Pang Tong alive, which unlocks him as a playable character. My long spear is swapped out for a new one that boosts a lot more stats. The special item I gained was a Hexmark saddle, which allows me to start a stage riding a decent horse. 2300 points getting me to class 9 and promoting my bodyguards to the fighter class. Stage 4 is another smaller one, the Battle of Mount Dingjun in Winter 219. Liu Bei's acquisition of Chengdu leads to the realisation of Zhuge Liang's Heavenly Triangle plot, and sets in motion for the Three Kingdoms to fight it out. Liu Bei's next target is Hanchong, which is under Wei control. The aim is to capture Mount Dingjun, a strong point, which will make taking Hanchong much more feasible. I equip the Hexmark saddle before I start. Liu Bei and Zhuge Liang talk about Hanchong being on the other side of the mountain, while Huang Chong wants to just get started and shoot some guys. Going north a little takes me to this hill. While I fight Xiahou Xiang, I get a cutscene of Huang Chong trying to shoot down Xiahou Yuan, but he misses and takes out the guy behind him. I weaken Xiahou Xiang only for Yan Yan's group to take the killing blow and rob me of the points. I next get running down the hill. It's steep, meaning I move down it at incredible speed, but moving up it has me moving at a fraction of the speed. Plus there's all these spiked fences I have to avoid. As Du Shi's unit runs up towards me, I have the archers in these towers to shoot down before they become a problem. I fight Du Shi, but I'm not used to the stage yet, so it's quite easy for my attack animations to get me moving into spikes. Du Shi goes down and I try fighting my way down the hill, getting killed by one of Xiahou Yuan's guards. Next time I don't bother equipping the horse and manage to defeat Xiahou Xiang myself. After taking out Du Shi, I do a long lonely walk around the southern end of the stage to the west, so I can try helping out Chang Fei's unit as they move north up the western side. I take on 2 officers at once, Han Hao and Xiahou De. Neither of them are any threat. Continuing up this path has me start a fight with Chang He. I'm a bit worried because I don't know what he's capable of under AI control yet, but here he decides he doesn't want to fight back or even block, so I take him out very easily. A nice +4 to my defense too. I turn the corner and head east to end up on the other side of Xiahou Yuan's unit. Turns out without me slowing them down, they made it all the way up the hill, so I slowly run back up and meet Xiahou Yuan around my starting point. I focus on taking out his guards first, leaving officers on my side, Fa Chang and Yan Yan, keeping the guy occupied. Once the guards are done, I join in and beat him down, gaining +4 to my attack. Xiahou Yuan gets a unique dramatic death scene on this stage, so I assume this is around where he died in real life. That just leaves the upper half of the stage. I go back down the hill and turn off east here, where I can find some wine, the item that grants a permanent 10-point increase to my Musou bar. I go through the gate to the north and find a freeway fork. I take out the archers at the tower, get rid of the group fighting around it, and take the middle path. More spiked fences here, but at least I'm not on a steep hill this time. Yang Xiu takes me on but gets easily wiped out. I go back to help Huang Chong move along the western road. This ends with me taking out Cao Hong outside the entrance to Cao Cao's compound. As I fight around here, being close to a gate, I get reminded that these smaller stages have a time limit of 30 minutes as opposed to the usual 90. I try taking out the western gate captain, but attract Cao Cao's attention. I end up with very little health in no time. I end up fleeing down the middle road and running back up the eastern route just to find this 1 health refill back in the compound without having everyone all over me. With Cao Cao's attention on the Shu army filling down the middle route, I can take the eastern gate. The southwestern corner of this compound has a dim sum item in a pot, the one that increases my maximum health by 10 points. It seems someone else killed the other gate captain, which cuts off all of Cao Cao's backup. With him completely surrounded, he's much easier to defeat. He flees once again. I learned to quite enjoy Mount Ding Jun, as I used it for some of my character maxing later on. Once you get used to it, you can blaze through it. Killing Xiahou Yuan on this stage unlocked him as a playable character. For a new item, a Tiger Amulet, this one granting 8 extra attack points, along with Shell Armour, which grants me 8 extra bow defense points. My Peacock Urn is upgrading to granting 16 more health. 2700 points gets me to class 8 and increases my bodyguard count from 2 to 4. Stage 5 is the battle at Yiling in summer 222. This stage was a nightmare in Dynasty Warriors 2, and it may be even harder here for a new character. The cutscene has Qiao Yun begging Liu Bei to think clearly and not attack the Wu Kingdom, saying that they should join against them against Cao Cao. But Wu has executed Guan Yu, so he's too angry to listen and wants them destroyed. The introduction tells me just that, and that Wu also gained control of the Jing province. Liu Bei forms a long formation outside of Yiling, but in 222, Lu Xun makes his move against the Shu army. I equip the Tiger Amulet before I start. Qiao Yun starts in the centre north against a small part of Lu Xun's unit. I start by heading west to fight Cheng Pu. I'm interrupted by a cutscene of Lu Xun spying on the Shu camp, and realising that Zhuge Liang mustn't be there, he sends a message to Chu Ran's unit to burn the camp down. I can stop this from happening, but I'm not going to find out how for a long time. As I fight Cheng Pu some more, the fire attack starts. Archers with flaming arrows torch the Shu camp. This results in a massive loss of morale. But on the bright side, I defeat Cheng Pu. I take out the nearby gate captain too, as I get constant messages of officers on my side being wiped out. That's Gan Ning, starting in the southeast corner and bulldozing through everything there as he heads north. I head southwest a little bit to take on Sun Shangxiang. Once again I end up low on health and have to spend time scrambling around for a refill. Sun Shangxiang can be tough at this point, but compared to the rest of this stage, she's the only reasonably manageable playable officer for a character starting this mode from scratch, so I managed to take her out. She drops dead and seconds later Xu Sheng runs by, followed by Lu Meng. Lu Meng is incredibly strong on this stage with very high defense. While trying to deal with these two officers, I also get Cho Tai joining in as well. Cho Tai goes down first, but he gets replaced in this mob by Jiang Qin. I take him down, and then by spamming my True Musou attack at full health, I slowly whittle down, and then have Huang Chong steal the killing blow on Lu Meng right from under my nose. While I'm in this corner, I take the gate further to the west. I run along this valley in the middle to find that Gan Ning has already fought his way here and wiped out everything else behind him. Gan Ning is the biggest challenge on this map, with his ludicrous strength and defense and the Musou attack that, due to the way it works, can take you from full health to death in an instant. As usual, I focus on removing his guards and guard captains, but he reaches me on his horse and gives me a single swat that stuns me long enough for everyone else to finish me, losing 24 minutes. It leaves me missing those memory card items that can be found in Dynasty Warriors 2 that let me save in the middle of a stage. Look, I know, but I haven't found out about that yet. On my second attempt I take on Lu Meng first, but that also has Lu Xun join in, who is also as stupidly powered up as Lu Meng and Gan Ning. I get him close to death, but Lu Meng takes me down this time. Third time I try the same method I did on the first, take down Cheng Pu and then move west to fight Sun Shangxiang, although this time I take out the gate captain first to cut off backup earlier. Right after is when a Wu raiding party appears in the southwest, where Zhuge Liang is waiting. After taking out Sun Shangxiang, I run through the valley and take on Gan Ning again. It ends even worse than it did the first time. Fourth try I start by moving east to take out some of Lu Xun's unit, including Officer Pan Chang. This has me fighting Lu Meng's unit again. I kill Xu Sheng, but Lu Xun gets involved, leading to another death. For my fifth attempt I return to the strategy I used in my first and third. While taking on Gan Ning, Lu Xun's officer Chu Ran gets caught in the middle and defeated, but Gan Ning knocks me down and starts his combos I'm getting up, leaving me with no way to escape another defeat. I figure I'm just not strong enough, so I do a playthrough of Changban in free mode to gain some levels and stat increases. Officers defeated in free mode are always shown dying, since there's no story going on there. I'm now strong enough to move down the northwestern area and take on Xu Huang's unit. Yu Jin is also along that path and Xu Huang is in that corner. To the south of this bridge is Chang He to defeat as well. I then do a lap around the stage and take out the rest of them. 5300 points bumps me up to class 6 and promotes my bodyguards to warriors. Back to Yiling I hang around the middle and take on Lu Xun's unit, defeating Pan Chang. As the camp is set alight I keep moving east. I can't keep spending so much time clearing out the western units only to lose all that time to Lu Meng or Gan Ning, so I'm dealing with them first. I end up with low health, but Lu Meng goes down again. Of course, I end up going west again anyway, looking for health. I kill Ding Fen, having learned the use of launch juggle combos when there aren't others around to knock me out of them. Soon Shang Xiang is next and then the Gate Captain. Northeast Little to bring down Cheng Pu again. And while Gan Ning marches westward, I take on his unit from the east, to thin it down without getting him involved right away. Jiang Qin is killed, quickly followed by Cho Tai. By the time I reach Gan Ning, he has only his 5 guards left. I take out one guard, but end up needing to fall back and look for health. I take down the last of his guards over the next few minutes, but even alone, he can still be a threat. So I try my best to launch him and trap him in a juggle combo until he finally goes down. I keep building up that combo to double the stat boost he drops and gain a very nice +8 to my attack. That may be my biggest threat gone, but I'm not out of it yet. Lu Xun is still around and he's just as much a problem. Lu Xun is dead centre in this stage, but since I've taken out so many units, he isn't as well defended as he could be. I end up low on health again, but instead of running to look for a refill, I hang back and let him fight other Shu soldiers, pelting him with arrows and slowly lowering his health. Once I run out, he's nearly dead, so I run in and finish him. With just Sun Quan left, my entire army gets marching to the northeastern corner. I'm still not safe yet, I still have another 20 minutes of footage left on this recording. Once I find more health, I charge on Sun Quan's camp to find it littered with groups of crossbows. They're everywhere. I end up low on health, and there are times where I think I'm jumping away from crossbows only to end up in front of another group. It gets scarily close, but I refuse to lose all this progress now. Thankfully, there are more health items in this area. I take out Chu Huan and lose even more health trying to take out the Western Gate Captain, as I'm just getting overwhelmed here. While looking for more health, I attract Sun Quan's attention. I spend a few minutes fighting him and his guards and do a bit of damage, but have to run again. I at least manage to take out the Western Gate Captain, 15 minutes after entering this area. The Eastern one goes a couple minutes later, cutting off all of Sun Quan's reinforcements. Without all the backup, Sun Quan isn't too hard, so I get to run in and finish him off with a true Musou attack, killing Sun Quan and ending the Wu Kingdom's role in this Musou mode. Healing is a nightmare, and it's mainly thanks to those powered up Lu Xun, Lu Meng and especially Gan Ning. How good you are with a character, or how good that character is in general, will determine how enjoyable your time will be on this stage. I'll have better times with this stage in the future, but I will also have much worse. Thanks to the beatings and the time it took to finish, I only get 2900 points despite my officer kill list. It at least levels me to class 5. Stage 6 is the Nanman campaign in summer 225, but the game crashes at the start of the cutscene. This is what can happen when you buy a second-hand PS2 game for £2 or so in 2010 and then wait until 2022 to try it out. You can end up with a messed up disc. Even if I could return it after so long, I'm pretty sure the branch of game I bought it from closed down over 10 years ago. So while I wait for the second copy I ordered to arrive, I guess I could grind and try to get some better weapons for Chao Yun. I replay Mount Ding Jun and gain a speed scroll that increases my speed stat by 1. I also up the difficulty to hard, as I know that a character's 4th weapon can only be obtained by fulfilling certain conditions on that difficulty. I also know that Chao Yun's 4th weapon is found on Changban. Thing is, I misunderstand some of the instructions, so that whole thing ends in failure. And that's not even counting the times I die. So what I have to do is kill Xiahou Dun, Chang Liao and Chang He. Also, Cao Cao's reinforcements must arrive for Liu Bei to say, "Cao Cao, so you want to end it here at Changban." Once the required officers are dead, I then have to fight in the middle of the stage around Liu Bei. This should trigger a cutscene of Chao Yun telling the enemy that they will not lay a hand on his lord. After this, a supply unit appears. I missed this crucial bit of information. I thought I just had to fulfill those previous conditions, so the supply unit escape with the 4th weapon. I did not realise, as I did in fact gain a new weapon on this attempt. I gained Chao Yun's 3rd weapon, the Dragon Spear, which tricked me into thinking I had the 4th. I also gained 5800 points, bringing me to class 3 and promoting my bodyguards to sergeants. You will notice the picture quality changing from now. For reasons, I was recording those first few levels of Chao Yun's mode at a different house on a different TV using a different computer. The rest of the game was then played at home on the usual TV, so sorry for the whiplash and if it looks worse. I think it does. You may wonder how I thought I had the 4th weapon if that icon is clearly not filled in and the Dragon Spear was 3rd. Simple. I assumed that I didn't have the 3rd weapon and that when I did, the Dragon Spear's icon would be pushed over to the left to make way for it. I didn't question it until after Chao Yun's Musou mode was cleared. I also left hard difficulty on to get used to it, as GameFAQs said that I have a very hard mode to unlock by clearing Musou mode on hard. Although I once again missed one very crucial bit of information. With the Dragon Spear I now have access to Chao Yun's full combo. After another run of Mount Ding Jun I gained my first wing boots, which added 11 points to my jump. I don't know if jump is ever worth using an item slot on. I also gain enough points to have 6 bodyguards. Then another run of Changbang gets me to class 2 and ups my bodyguard count to the highest, 8. I discover a dim sum on Changbang for more health. It's in a pot in the Middle West, south of the gate. No levels gained from that run. Another go of Mount Dingjun gets me a new Dragon Spear that grants 22 extra defense. I also get a new item, a Horned Helm that adds 36 points to my mounted attack, so I'm not using it. My Speed Scroll also gets upgraded to have 5 points. I should say, the one thing I'm not aiming for is the highest possible stat boost on my items. Considering the RNG involved and the sheer amount of time I already spent on this game, I decided it wasn't worth it. One more run of Changbang gets Chao Yun to class 1 and his bodyguards the elite title. By this point the second copy I had ordered had arrived, so I can finally move on and play the Nanman campaign. Chang Fei complains about the humidity to Chao Yun and Ma Chao. Chao Yun says that the Nanman knowledge of terrain makes them strong, which is why Zhuge Liang wants them. Shu have to attack their spirits until they surrender. The introduction claims that Shu won at Yiling and Wu was destroyed, allowing Shu to take all of its territory. The Musou modes will rewrite history so that the player character's kingdom is victorious, and once a rival kingdom stops appearing, they are wiped out. Zhuge Liang starts considering taking on Cao Cao, but there is a growing power to the south. Liu Bei's death 2 years before this stage is not mentioned, he just disappears. In 225, Zhuge Liang sends out forces to conquer the southern lands by defeating King Meng Huo and his forces. Considering this stage is Nanman territory, they have control over most of the stage. I start in the middle north and run south to find Meng Huo already. I'll be fighting Meng Huo a lot, so in this first battle he's not too big a threat. I defeat him and get a cutscene of him blocking one of my attacks. He says he has seen my tactics and flees for now. There are 4 routes I can take from this northern section. I take the middle eastern bridge south. As I try fighting up this hill, Meng Huo rejoins the battle around the southwest. I get up the hill to find the officer Yong Kai riding an elephant. This triggers a cutscene of my army, having never seen an elephant before, getting trampled. Knocking people off of elephants is a lot trickier than with horses, but I manage it and take Yong Kai down. I backtrack to the north as Meng Huo is making his way back there. On the way to meet him I take on Gao Ding and kill him. Before I can reach Meng Huo again, I also have Dalai Dongchu to deal with. I head west to the Middle West Bridge and have a third officer, Dong Tunei, get in my way. With him down, I continue the journey west to Meng Huo. On the way I get a cutscene of Shu archers firing on Nanman soldiers and reacting in confusion when their arrows have no effect. I reach the western bridge and meet Meng Huo again and defeat him again. Once again he refuses to surrender and runs. I continue across the bridge anyway to take out the leftovers, including the officer Wu Tugu. As I reach him, Meng Huo reappears in the centre east of the stage. I take down Wu Tugu and get running east. Meng Huo's unit comes pouring out of the narrow valley and I defeat him once more. He dodges one of my attacks and runs for a third time. Of course his soldiers stay around along with officer Ahuinan. Meng Huo once again reappears in the west of the northern section. I defeat Ahuinan, but before I can go for Meng Huo again, King Duosi shows up for a scrap. I take him out too and continue east down the valley to capture the gate and cut off backup from there. I run west for my 4th battle with Meng Huo and win again. He claims to have not lost a fight yet, and we get one of the more infamous bits of acting in the game.
Great King, flee!
Oh, sorry.
I head down the centre east again, but Meng Huo reappears already in the centre west. I decide to ignore him and capture the gate, then keep heading south across this bridge. I get moving west and take on Meng Yo. However, I have a hard time hitting him off his elephant, and by the time I do, I have very little health left. Between fighting him and the southern gate captain, I end up defeated. Second attempt ends earlier. I do the same stuff but in a different order. Before I can have my third fight with Meng Huo, Dalai Dongchu and his unit trap me in a corner and beat me to death. On my third try, the 4th Meng Huo is defeated by my soldiers while I'm returning from a health refill search, preventing me from being able to unlock him this time. So when he shows up for his 5th fight, I ignore him again and take on the southern territory. This time I defeat Meng Yo and the southern gate captain. As I keep moving west, this skips the rest of the Meng Huo fights and sticks him in the southwestern corner, his final position. Continuing west has me entering battle with Meng Huo's wife, Chu Rong. I ignore her at first until I take out all of her archers, and while fighting her I keep picking away at her Amazonesses. Chu Rong herself isn't that much of a threat though, and I easily defeat her. That just leaves the fortress. I hang outside taking out more remaining archers and the officer Meng Jie, before I go inside and spend ages running around and fighting everyone except Meng Huo. Eventually I fight my way into the back, and over 100 kills later, finally capture that gate. I then move on to Meng Huo with barely anyone left to fight for him and take him down as well. Because I didn't do all of his fights, he just dies and I don't get the full cutscene. I may have missed out on unlocking Meng Huo this time, but I did unlock Churong for defeating her. Nanman is a nice, easier level to set between Yiling and what's coming next. When you do it all properly, chasing down Meng Huo and beating down all his attempts to fight back are fun. My Shell Armour gets upgraded to plus 11 and Peacock Urn to plus 46. 4400 points and my bodyguards are now classed up to guards. Chao Yun's final stage is the battle at Wuchang Plains in Autumn 234. Chao Yun and Zhuge Liang contemplate how far they've come and how everything has been leading to this one battle. Zhuge Liang laments the loss of life it took to get here, but says it was for the benefit of the country. With Nanman taken over, Shu can now turn his attention back over to Wei. Wei's Sima Yi learns of the plan to invade and sends his own army to meet Shu. Like Liu Bei, Cao Cao's death 14 years earlier is just not mentioned and he disappears. Wuchang Plains is an absolute nightmare if your first time playing it is on hard. This takes me about 4 hours total. Chao Yun starts in the southwestern corner of the map. Just a few steps north and I'm already taking on my first playable officer, Chenji. All the playable officers have a ton of health and defense here, but at least now I have 8 bodyguards, I have some help at first before they start dropping dead. Of course, any damage I deal to her gets free healed away a few times. Even the crossbows nearby take more hits than usual to take out. In the end, I don't even make it out of this first group of enemies before I'm killed. 5 minutes for my second attempt to end the same way. On my third try, I ignore Chenji and run east across this bridge. It takes me to a gate and I get rid of the captain to stop more soldiers coming from there. With her getting no more help, I return to Chenji and try again. Capturing that gate turned out to be the correct idea, as this time I managed to kill her. Now to decide which way to go next. I stay on this western bit of land and get going all the way to the northwestern corner. Up here is where I run into Xu Chu. Considering the hard time I had with Chenji, Xu Chu ends up being no problem at all and barely fights back before I kill him. Cao Hong was fighting alongside Xu Chu as well and I take him on too. While fighting him, one unit of the Wei army has prepared some catapults with boulders. Cao Hong is defeated, gaining me control of the entire northwest corner of the map. There's a gate to the east, and while I work on capturing it, that Wei unit start launching boulders at Shu HQ, and then reinforcements for them show up in the centre east. I take the gate and cross the bridge to the east. I get going south to fight Sima Chao's unit. Now that's definitely a name I remember from Orochi 3. I get running up the stairs to take on the catapult unit and start with its archers. I easily take down Sima Chao, preventing more catapults from this spot. But then even more reinforcements show up from the east and centre gate in the north. I rush over to get rid of this unit, led by Man Chong, before they can move and cause trouble anywhere else. I kill Man Chong and spend a couple minutes mopping up his remaining soldiers. I then head a good distance southeast to secure a gate in the centre east of the map. I keep moving south to get a cutscene where my character finds Zhuge Liang's wooden ox. These will appear on the map and some can be broken for supplies. From there I head all the way southeast to the corner to take on the gate. During this I get another cutscene where I see many shooting stars, representing all the warriors that died in this war. Watching this cutscene spawns a special item in the centre of the map. I take the gate and cross the bridge to the west into the centre. There are only 3 gatherings of Wei soldiers left. There's Sima Yi's massive group in the northeast corner, there's a second catapult unit in the southwest, then there's a big group in the centre marching in on Shu HQ and Zhuge Liang, who are in the centre south. I run up north in the centre, past the entrance to Shu HQ to find a special item in a box. I then start on the unit going for Zhuge Liang. I first take out Sun Li and his group and then get moving south for the rest. Cao Xiu is my next target and I get him very close to death, but a pissing archer stuns me long enough for him to kill me first. I was devastated after how well I'd done. Next time I try things a bit differently. After killing Chenji, I cross over the southwest bridge again to take on Xu Huang, who I missed completely last time. I put him down and then head north to take on that other catapult unit. I run up the stairs and take on Cao Ren, killing him to end that catapult attack. Once that's done I head northwest again and do things in basically the same order I did last time. But after dealing with Man Chong and Sima Chao, I leave those 2 gates for now and head south back to the centre to deal with the units attacking the HQ earlier. I defeat Jia Shu and get revenge on Cao Xiu. Sun Li falls next, just leaving normal soldiers and letting me put an end to that attempt. I claim the gates in the southeast and centre east and march on the northeastern corner of the map to take on Sima Yi's massive group. Approaching that corner will trigger a cutscene where your character taunts Sima Yi. He angrily stamps his foot and says it won't work, but it does as his morale lowers. I get fighting up the steps to his camp, but he still has more officers. He has Chang Liao, but like Xu Chu, he doesn't fight back much and I end him. I finally reach the top of the steps to find a load of crossbows waiting for me. I spend a few minutes juggling fighting them and dealing with the northeast gate captain. I take the gate and head as far south as I can up here to find the final gate on the map and take that too. I am terrified, as I have so little health left and this attempt has now been going on for around 55 minutes. But I take on Sumai as he only has a few soldiers left. I focus on his guards while my soldiers keep him distracted. I take them out, begging for at least one health drop that never comes. Eventually he's the only enemy left on the field, and still no health drop. I reduce him to his last 5th or 6th of health, but when I run to create some distance, the lack of controllable camera fucks me over, as I see him running right for me and can't react in time before he kills me. I had to take a break after that. I felt so defeated. It takes me another 7 attempts over 2 hours for me to get anywhere near close to him again. I'm low on health and I shit myself when he catches me in his true Musou attack. I'm left with just a few pixels of health bar, but as I run, my soldiers start distracting him again. So I hang back and keep spamming my bow, but he either dodges or gains invincibility frames with his Musou attack. In the end, an arrow finally lands and ends him. When you're not on hard, Wuchang Plains is a very enjoyable final battle. It has the atmosphere with the night sky and the great music to get you pumped as you move all over taking out all these strong officers. Just don't make your first time playing it be on hard difficulty. My shell armour is upgraded to plus 31, my tortoise amulet to plus 33. The special item I found is the survival guide, which grants me temporary double attack when close to death. Huang's bow is upgraded to plus 37. 4900 points and Chao Yun reaches class max. Zhuge Liang is also unlocked for completing Musou mode as one Shu character. Every Musou ending starts the same, a recap of the stages you played and the amount of kills you got in them. We then get to watch a celebration, which all use from the same set of animations but is different for each character. They all contain a character singing the ending song, which in this case is Diao Chan, being watched by Zhuge Liang. Huang Chong and Ma Chao drink together, Chang Fei passes out drunk, and Wei Yan poses in front of the moon. Chao Yun can be seen showing off his spear skill as the credits start. I did not unlock this supposed very hard mode, but for now I'll get Chao Yun's 4th weapon now I know I did things wrong. I do the same things I did before to trigger that supply unit. This unit starts in the northwest at the gate near where Chang He hangs out, and moves east and then south to escape through one of the southeast gates. I cut it close and defeat the supply captain as he approaches the gate. I couldn't risk leaving Liu Bei to get killed, so I spent time killing soldiers near him while they moved. I finished the stage and obtained Chao Yun's Fierce Dragon. Not only are the stats good, but his C4 and C5, the triangle ending moves after a certain amount of normal attacks, will gain a fire effect. I gain a dragon amulet that grants plus 4 maximum Musou. Apparently I had one before, but I don't know where from. Chao Yun's attack and defense have been maxed from officer stat boosts, just life and Musou left. But since I didn't unlock very hard, I assume I had to complete the entire Musou mode on hard from the beginning, so I go through it again. After finishing Yiling again, I gain a cavalry armour plus 3 to mounted defense. My completion of Nanman again upgrades my dragon amulet to plus 54 maximum Musou, and finishing Wuchang again ups the cavalry armour's boost to plus 29. And still no very hard mode. That's because very hard mode is only on the Xbox port, so I caused myself a lot of stress and spent a lot of time for nothing. All that's left is maxing Chao Yun. His life is maxed, so all that's left is his Musou bar. I choose Mount Ding Jun since it's a short stage and I know where the wine is. 4 more replays of Mount Ding Jun maxes out Chao Yun's Musou bar, and the 5th maxes out his points at 99,999. Ignore those bars not being full there. There's always extra room on this screen to make room for extra stat boosts on top of the cap from item equips. But that's Chao Yun, and we have 9 more characters to cover from this kingdom. But since that's 7 stages covered in detail, I'll skim over them when other characters repeat them. So as we move across the select screen, character coverage should get faster and faster. Next up I'll be playing through Musou mode as Guan Yu. So after I just said I'd be skimming over the repeated stages, Guan Yu only shares 3 stages with Chao Yun. This means I have 4 new stages to go into detail over, though not all in a row. He starts with the earliest battle in the game, the Yellow Turban Rebellion in Spring 184. This one starts with the cutscene of the village burning, under attack by the Yellow Turbans. We then see Liu Bei meeting with Guan Yu and Chang Fei as they head off for war. Huang Gai and Sun Jian doing the same, then Cao Cao and Xiahou Dun eyeing the Yellow Turbans advancing on them. Thanks to all the grinding I did as Chao Yun, Guan Yu can start with a nice power up when I equip him with the Tortoise Amulet, Shell Armour, Survival Guide, Peacock Urn and Tiger Amulet. And I film myself back in on this point in history. A religious group formed against the corrupt Han Dynasty known as the Way of Peace is started by Chang Zhao, known as the Yellow Turbans due to wearing yellow cloths on their heads. They rise up and quickly spread throughout central China. That's when the Han call out for help across all the kingdoms to band together and put them down. The Yellow Turbans are the source of some of the best bad voice acting in the game, starting with the very first word of the stage, courtesy of Chang Zhao himself.
Go!
Two characters start in the centre east of the map, outside the castle. This time I only lose if the commander He Jin is killed, the only time in the game where your army's leader is a generic NPC and not playable. He lacks his full moveset right now, but I found Guan Yu very good. I found him more fun than Chao Yun, which is what I needed after my starting struggles. Of course, I'm also starting with an arsenal of powerful items, which also helps. There's a hill to run up between the mountains to the east where I take on my first officer, Gao Sheng. But I get interrupted by Chang Zhao's brother, Chang Bao, who is also beautifully acted.
You flaming idiots! Take this!
He starts dropping boulders from the mountain. I take out Gao Sheng and get climbing the mountain further. As I get further, Chang Bao ups his game.
Feel the power of my magic!
Now I have to avoid boulders rolling down the mountain towards me. I'm very bad at it right now, but I don't die, which is the important part. I reach the top of the mountain, which rewards me with a cutscene of my character smashing a boulder and encouraging their troops to march forward. This cutscene ends the boulder attacks. There's a gate up here to claim, and to the west is the summit, where Chang Bao waits. When approaching Chang Bao, I get a cutscene of Chang Zhao teleporting to the east gate of the castle. Guan Yu's Musou attack is very good, by the way, much better than Chao Yun's. Since he spins around, the attack hits everyone around him and makes it easier to juggle with. Chang Bao goes down in no time. I head back down the mountain to find Chang Zhao running up after me. Enemy ambush parties appear northwest and southwest of the castle, and I soon defeat Chang Zhao. He responds by teleporting off the battlefield. He reappears on the north coast, but there are few ways to reach it right now. But that changes when Chang Zhao's other brother, Chang Liang, freezes the river to allow anyone to cross on foot from anywhere. They can wait though, as there are several more opponents to take out. At the foot of the mountain I get moving south. I take out the officer Sun Chong and head further south to kill Yan Cheng. West of them is Chang Man Cheng, who also doesn't last long. After killing him I go south and capture the gate there. Following that is a long travel northwest to take the centre west gate for myself. Then east a little to deal with the huge army trying to get into the castle from the west. Chang Liang goes down, then it's into the castle to clear out those who got inside. Pei Yuan Shao is defeated next to the gate, followed by Guan Hai a little to the north. I leave the castle and go to the northwest corner to capture another gate there. Then back into the castle from the northern gate to get rid of any remaining enemies inside. My next target is all the way to the northeast corner, another gate to capture, and slightly west of that, the officer He Yi. Continuing west is another gate I take in the centre north before I have a rematch with Chang Zhao. Thanks to me beating him earlier, his defence is lowered. If you ignored him until he naturally teleported to the north for the final battle, then he would take minuscule damage from your attacks. As he is now, putting an end to the Yellow Turban Rebellion is quite easy. I'm torn on whether I prefer this version of the stage or the one in Dynasty Warriors 2. In 2, the stage feels more epic with you starting in a small corner, fighting your way into, through and out the fortress, then climbing through the mountains to find Chang Zhao in another fort. This version, stretching them out around the edges and hiding them in the mountains a bit off to the side, lacks that. However, I will be using this stage for the vast majority of my grinding, and it's laid out in a way that completing it quickly with a lot of officer kills for a lot of points is so much easier here than it is in 2. So if I wasn't needing to max everyone out, 2 would definitely be the preferred version, but since I am, they're a lot closer in my opinion. By defeating Chang Zhao and both his brothers, I've unlocked him as a playable character. I gain a new halberd with 1 extra attack point over the starting one. Guan Yu jumps to class 12 and his bodyguards become sergeants. Guan Yu's second stage is the same it was for everyone in DW2, the battle at Hulao Gate in Winter 191. The cutscene shows Cao Cao suggesting Yuan Shao as the commander of the Allied forces against Dong Chuo, or Dong Zhao as he calls him. Meanwhile, Yao Chan hears of the start of the attack as she meets Lu Bu and tells her she'll accompany him, which makes him mildly curious. Dong Chuo was a general who managed to seize power after the end of the Yellow Turban campaign. He pretends to serve the Child Emperor, but then enters the capital Luoyang with Lu Bu taking control of the government. But he's a total asshole and people hate him, so Cao Cao manages to rally everyone together under Yuan Shao's command to bring him down. I remove my bodyguards for this stage, in which I start in the northeast corner. Like Dynasty Warriors 2, I need to kill 1000 soldiers on this stage to unlock Lu Bu, and like Dynasty Warriors 2, I want to do this on my first playthrough of the stage to get it out of the way. I bench my bodyguards to prevent them from stealing valuable kills. I start by abandoning my allies and heading west to this gate. Before I start fighting, I get to watch some of Yuan Shao's soldiers cowering in the presence of Lu Bu, who sounds cheesier than you'd expect him to.
Ah! Get out of my way!
I take the gate and get running back to join my own army. On the way I get to watch Yuan Shao learn that his brother Yuan Shu's forces have stopped fighting, which he is displeased to hear about. I catch up to my army to take on Wang Fang, but this time I don't want to rush and kill the officers or I'll make their remaining soldiers flee. But here there isn't much choice. Chang Fei kills Wang Fang and I take the gate. The east gate opens to let me travel south. But I only have 24 kills right now. I need to get 976 out of what's left. Thankfully further areas are more crowded and my kill count starts shooting up. I hang out by the gate to the east and keep killing every soldier that comes through. By the time the gate captain is killed, I bump that count into the 170s. I get moving south and take the first turn west, attracting the attention of Chang Liao. By the time he started with me, his entire unit is dead, so I take him down easily. Continuing west, I run into Xu Rong. While ignoring him and fighting his soldiers, I get Lu Bu's attention. Even with all my grey items equipped, I have no chance against him right now. This is even the origin of the famous line, "Don't pursue Lu Bu." I have to abandon the fight with Xu Rong's unit and head north to where there's a gate. Xu Rong follows me at least while Lu Bu lets me run. By the time the gate captain gets caught in my Musou attack enough to be killed, I have 316 kills. I head directly south and take on this massive wave while Lu Bu isn't around to get in the way, but he catches up to me along with a weakened Xu Rong. I actually managed to knock Lu Bu off of his red hair, but that was a mistake as it grants him more moves to kick my head in with. I flee to the east to get out of his sight and then turn right back around after going south a little and go west through the centre. While clearing out this centre area, I get to fight and defeat Hua Xiong. I shoot the bowmen out of the nearby towers and the Fanshui gate to the west is opened. I climb up the gate and travel up this valley going north, where Cao Cao's army is fighting at the other end. A lot of archers and the officer Fan Chou. When they're all dealt with, I have 418 kills. There's just the south of the map left, and I'm unsure if there are enough soldiers left. I head all the way east and then all the way south, running along the southmost path. No officers along here, but a gate at the end and enough soldiers coming out of it that by the time I capture the gate, I've jumped from 418 kills to 910. Okay, I'm not unsure anymore. But I am paranoid about anything that can kill me and make me have to do it again. I still remember the struggle that getting 1,000 kills and finishing the stage was last game. I head back north and rejoin the main path west, noticing the Shu army have got quite the head start on me. But as I travel along this path I spring a trap. Archers have been set up along both sides of the path. They're out of reach, so the only way to kill them is to use my own bow and arrow. It's a pain, since you spend the time to aim only to get knocked out of aim when you get shot, but I take them all out and reach the end. At the Hulao gate, a soldier gets to see me approaching with a huge battering ram, and by the time I reach the gate, it opens for me. Li Ru is at the gate, but he doesn't pose a threat. I beat him inside and get killing all the soldiers I can. Diao Chan also picks a fight with me. Li Ru gets taken down, and Diao Chan doesn't last much longer either. After her death, a Musou attack gets me to 992 kills, and I hit that 1000 soon after. I head further into the camp, ignoring Dong Chuo and instead focusing on the 3 gate captains in the back. I take the southern gate, but going for the middle one gets me in Dong Chuo's sight. I take the last 2 gates, and that just leaves Dong Chuo himself. With Liu Bei, Huang Gai and Han Dang also attacking him at the same time, he doesn't get much of a chance to fight back himself, so he just keeps running away until his health runs out. Hulao Gate is much more fun than it is in 2, I found. While Lu Bu is still a huge threat, there are less moments I found where you can just get wrecked in seconds. I not only unlocked Lu Bu for the 1000 kills, but also Diao Chan for defeating her on this stage too. I gain Guan Yu's second weapon, the Great Halberd. The 1000 KOs give me a massive point bonus that sends me all the way to class 8 and gives me 4 bodyguards at warrior level. Guan Yu's third stage is another new one, Guan Yu's Escape in Autumn 201. This is another small scale stage. Despite Dong Chuo's death, the Han Dynasty's power was pretty much gone anyway. The leaders all head home with their own plans to gain power. With Liu Bei not having his own land yet, he ends up working for Yuan Shao, while Guan Yu ends up fighting for Cao Cao. After crossing paths with Liu Bei in another battle, Guan Yu misses fighting alongside his master. He decides to leave Cao Cao's service and rejoin Liu Bei. I make sure to equip my Great Halberd to that addition to my moveset. The stage starts with Guan Yu riding off on the Red Hare, formerly Lu Bu's horse. He and Chang Liao say their goodbyes in the knowledge that they will meet again on the battlefield. Later, Xiahou Dun tries to get him to stay, but Guan Yu says he has already repaid his debt to Cao Cao. But Xiahou Dun is not going to let him leave and risk him becoming an enemy of Cao Cao in the future. This level is a journey north, taking down officers to open up the gates that let me continue. There's also Her Highness, who I'm escorting through the stage, although the game doesn't tell me anymore. I can't even see who she is as she's in the carriage. As I go through the first gate, the first officer I face is Chu Ling. He's no threat, and further north is Chang He. There's a dim sum for more health in a pot between these shacks. There's few soldiers here, which makes it easier for me to defeat Chang He. In fact, it was my own bodyguards getting in the way, knocking him out of my juggle combos. But he still goes down and the first gate opens. I keep moving north, crossing this bridge to fight Yu Jin and Chen Ji. Yu Jin is a pushover and Chen Ji doesn't take much effort either. The second gate opens and lets me continue. There's a left and right fork, but they both turn back around and recombine right away anyway. It's here I take on Xiahou Yuan and Xiahou En. Xiahou Yuan is done first, as Xiahou En decided to not get involved and just let him get defeated, fleeing right after. The third gate opens and I end up in a larger area taking on archers, followed by Yue Jin and Xu Huang. Neither of them slow me down. The fourth gate opens and as I pass through these plains, it starts raining. I cross a pair of bridges and deal with more archers. While I fight Li Dian, I notice Xiahou Dun has been racing along the stage behind me and he's catching up. Xu Chu gets involved right before I take out Li Dian. I knock Xu Chu off his horse and beat him down before Xiahou Dun can reach me. I then run south a little to face him. He says that if Guan Yu won't return to Cao Cao, he will kill him. Apparently he hasn't seen what I've done to everyone else on this stage so far. I smack him off his horse and a proper fight starts. At this point all my bodyguards are dead and so are all the Wei soldiers. So it's just these two left on the map fighting in the rain. Pretty cool. But then I keep locking him in juggle combos for a few minutes since he has such high defense and finish him off with a point blank arrow. He drops a special item and the fifth gate opens. Through it Guan Yu sees his brothers Liu Bei and Chang Fei on a raft, and Guan Yu rejoins them. That's a fun short one. There are no other stages in the game that do a linear chase level, so it stands out. It's also short, which made it a very popular grinding choice for me early on. The special item Xiahou Dun dropped was the Way of Musou, which lets me use my true Musou attack regardless of how much health I have left. Just under 3000 points bumps me up to class 6. Guan Yu's fourth stage is the battle at Changban. His fourth stage is Chao Yun's first. This also means I can skim over it since I've already gone into the details. I start in a similar spot as Chao Yun, but things go much smoother than they did as him first time. I head straight north and in less than 4 minutes I've taken down both Chang Liao and Xiahou Dun. That's what 3 stages of levels and a previous hard mode playthrough's worth of items gets you. I take the northern gates before Cao Cao and his main force arrives. I run across to the northwest corner, taking out Yu Jin on the way to defeat Xu Huang. I go north and take out Chang He next. I take the western gate and grab the dim sum, then east to the centre, taking down Xiahou Yuan. To the southeast to take out Cao Hong and Cao Ren. It seems someone else took out Xu Chu. Then north to take down Yue Jin and Cao Cao. See how much simpler it is when you have no threats anymore? Guan Yu gets a class 5 and 6 bodyguards. His 5th stage is the last new one we'll see in his Musou mode, the battle at Fan Castle in summer 219. Another small stage, and one exclusive to Guan Yu on the Shu side. Liu Bei orders Guan Yu to attack Fan Castle, which is occupied by Wei forces. His own forces surround the castle and Guan Yu uses the heavy rain to his advantage, with it flooding the Wei escape routes. It leaves them with no choice but to fight and wait for reinforcements. The stage starts with Guan Yu's son Guan Ping telling him that they're ready in one of the whiniest sounding voices a character with one line could have. Guan Yu says that they just need to wait for the water. I start on the east side and get going down the stairs leading west. My goal is to defeat Sima Yi. I hang out by the stairs and take everyone out, and then get going west some more and drop further to the ground floor. Cao Ren is here and I take him down and keep moving. I turn south and get interrupted by a cutscene of an officer ordering an arrow barrage from above. I go west some more to take on Pang De's archers. I spend a few minutes slowly moving south again, taking on the huge amount of soldiers surrounding me. This leads to me meeting Xu Huang. Guan Yu asks if they must fight, and Xu Huang replies that his duty compels him to, even if they are old friends. So I fight Xu Huang while being surrounded at every angle. So he takes a couple minutes due to there always being someone to get in the way and interrupt me or for him to hide behind. Guan Yu's true Musou attack is great by the way. That same animation but with the added fire effect makes it incredibly handy. I get a warning that the castle is flooding and to reach higher ground, but first I make sure Xu Huang goes down. I hang around here for a bit, fighting more and defeating Pang De, who is a little more to the south. I continue fighting my way southwest, across this bridge, and then east until I find some stairs going up onto the southern wall. Once I get up, the castle floods and the ground floor is inaccessible. There are wooden bridges floating underwater to allow crossing from the east wall to the south, but I don't need them this time. I start inching west, taking out every soldier that comes to me. But at this time, reinforcements from Wu show up to help Wei, led by Lu Meng. He appears in the northeast corner of the map, but I only have 10 minutes left so I'm not going after him. I keep going west and up the stairs to find Lu Xun waiting for me. He doesn't have his ridiculous buffs for Yi Ling yet, so he's much easier to defeat here. At this point I don't want to risk running out of time, so I start ignoring enemies. I run north down the stairs and then further north to get up onto the western wall. I start heading towards Sima Yi, taking out his unit and getting his attention. With the time I have left I make sure to get rid of all the archers surrounding him and take out the gate captain behind him to prevent more help. 5 minutes left is plenty of time for Sima Yi, providing he stops blocking everything and stunning me. Not to mention how every time you think there's no more archers, there turn out to be 3 more sticking around. At this point, Lu Meng's massive unit is catching up to me, so I throw out one last true Musou attack to ensure Sima Yi's defeat. Than Castle is fun. It's very satisfying being shoved into such a cramped space with a load of weak enemies to tear through. That's the reason I had so little time left by the time I was done and such a high kill count. Guan Yu reaches class 5 and gains 8 bodyguards. Stage 6 for Guan Yu has me replaying Yi Ling. The cutscene of Liu Bei furious at Guan Yu's execution starts a stage where I'm still playing as Guan Yu. The introduction even still states that Liu Bei is out for revenge for Guan Yu. This stage should be much easier thanks to my stronger items and me finding Guan Yu easier to play as than Zhao Yun. I start by heading east and taking on Lu Meng. His defense is still really high, so he still takes a while, Xu Sheng getting taken out after Lu Meng heals himself a second time. But then Lu Meng actually kills me. I don't want to risk spending a couple hours here again, so I bump the difficulty up to hard and go to Guan Yu's escape to obtain his 4th weapon. This 4th weapon is one of the simpler ones to trigger in the game, I just have to play the stage normally. I have to clear the 4th gate, the one opened up by defeating Xu Huang. The supply team appears north of the gate and moves south, meaning they run right into me. I kill the captain and take the weapon, then finish the rest of the stage. I gain the Blue Dragon, Guan Yu's 3rd weapon, and his 4th, the Blue Moon Dragon, which adds a lightning element to Guan Yu's C5, plus some insane stat boosts. Guan Yu also reaches class 3. Time for another go at Yi Ling, making sure to equip my new weapon. Xu Sheng goes in no time and I destroy Lu Meng's unit, leaving him with no one to distract me and give him the chance to heal. It still takes 3 minutes of constant beatings to drop him though. I keep going west and take on Gan Ning and get rid of him before he can cause any more damage. Jiang Qin also gets caught between us and destroyed. Hits from Gan Ning fill my Musou bar quickly, so I get to throw a lot of those around and take out a huge chunk of his unit. Chotai gets caught in a Musou attack meant for Gan Ning and killed. He's incredibly stubborn though, and it takes about 5 minutes of constant pressure to take out all of his health. But at least the biggest threat is gone early. But during this time, Lu Xun's unit have been making progress through Zhuge Stone Formation in the south, so I get heading over there. I take out Han Dang and end up fighting Lu Xun. He ends up taking less time and effort to kill than Lu Meng or Gan Ning did. I then keep moving south to crush the rest of his unit, leading into the Stone Formation. In the centre east of this area is a dim sum in a pot, and in the centre south I defeat Ling Tong. I lead the formation through the west exit and get moving northwest, capturing the gate and defeating Ding Feng, Cheng Pu and Sun Shangxiang one after the other with ease. Take the northwest gate and march on Sun Quan. Then another 5 minutes ploughing through his archers and taking the man himself down. My speed scroll gets upgraded to plus 10. Guan Yu's final stage is also the battle at Wuchang Plains, one he definitely couldn't have been at since it's 15 years after his death. The joy of opening this recording up and seeing that I have only around 40 minutes of footage to cover for this stage instead of 4 hours like last time. Guan Yu starts this stage north of Shu HQ, dead centre in the map. Since it's the closest unit, I head northwest to defeat Shu Chu and Cao Hong's unit. I claim the northwest gate and head southeast to destroy Sima Chao's catapult unit. Deng Ai and Man Chong show up to the north and I take them out too. I go southeast, taking the centre gate and fighting Cao Shu, Xin Pi and Jia Shu at once. All 3 go down within seconds of each other and I capture the southeast gate, preventing that huge wave from closing in on Shu HQ. Then comes a lonely 3-minute jog to the western half of the map. Cao Ren's catapult unit is crushed and the southwest gate is captured before I take down Xu Huang and Chen Ji. This leaves me with a massive army to take on Sima Yi's camp with. Look at that huge mass of blue that beats me there. Chang Liao is defeated, the last 2 gates are mine, and Sima Yi gets to watch me tear through his guards and juggle him to death, refusing him the chance to heal himself once. Guan Yu reaches class 2 and his bodyguards become majors. Completing Musou mode with 2 characters from Shu unlocks Liu Bei and Huang Chong as playable characters. Hopefully I showed how much more enjoyable the game becomes on your second playthrough when you don't have to take on difficult stages with nothing to help you. In Guan Yu's ending we don't see too much different. Chang Fei chops through a stone slab, Zhao Yun poses for the moon instead, and Guan Yu sits at a table watching Diao Chan sing and dance. Now to max him out. I don't normally use Hulao Gate for grinding, but I want to unlock Dong Zhuo and feel Guan Yu may be strong enough to do it. To do this I need to defeat both Lu Bu and Diao Chan before finishing Dong Zhuo. I've defeated Diao Chan when I was weaker, that's not an issue, but I don't yet know if I can take down Lu Bu. Turns out that, yes, I can. I easily juggle Lu Bu to death. The death of Lu Bu triggers the appearance of a supply unit in the valley north of the Fan Shui Gate. They try heading north only for the Wei army to stop them, letting me run in and get the killing blow and the item they drop. After that it's a simple killing of Diao Chan and Dong Zhuo once again, unlocking Dong Zhuo. The item from the supply team is the red hair saddle. which lets me start a stage riding Lu Bu's very fast horse. Guan Yu's bodyguards also get promoted to guard. I then use Mount Dingjun for my grinding since I know where both the wine and dim sum are. On my second completion of it, my 7-star orb is upgraded to plus 14. Guan Yu reaches class 1 and his bodyguards become elites. On my third completion, I gain an elixir that increases my Musou charge by 4 points. Guan Yu's attack and defense are also maxed after that one. 3 more runs and he reaches class max. 3 more runs of just getting the stat boost and running for Cao Cao has his Musou maxed out. I then get plain Changban since I only have life left and know where the dim sum is while also gaining a decent amount of points. It takes 5 playthroughs of Changban to both max out Guan Yu's health and his points at 99,999. That's 2 characters fully completed, just 39 more. Moving on, the third character to cover is Chang Fei. So between Qiao Yun and Guan Yu, I've covered almost every Shu stage in the game. Not all of them, but enough that I can skim through the rest of them much quicker unless there's something to point out. Chang Fei's first stage is Hulao Gate. Chang Fei shares his first 2 weapons with Guan Yu, so I can give him a long spear from the start. I also equip him with the Tortoise Amulet, Peacock Urn, Survival Guide, Tiger Amulet and the 7-star Orb. I start in the same spot Guan Yu does. Chang Fei is fine, but not as good as Guan Yu. His attack animations are the slowest of the 3 characters seen so far, and his Musou attack is more like Qiao Yun's, lacking the great range Guan Yu had, but with him swinging side to side, it has more range than Qiao Yun's. I think Qiao Yun was more fun though. Of course, Chang Fei's playthrough goes smoother than Qiao Yun's thanks to starting with all the shit he obtained for future runs. I run south, taking on Wang Fang and opening the gate. I capture the eastern gate and head west to take down Shu Rong and capture the gate north of him. I avoid Lu Bu and go west some more to kill Hua Xiong and clear the Fan Shui gate, then north to take down Fan Chou's unit. I head all the way east, all the way south, and then west, taking out the centre south gate and Li Meng. I march on Hulao Gate and force it to open to take out Diao Chan so fast that as soon as her intro is over, it fades back into me killing her. I spend a few minutes capturing Dong Zhuo's gates and then take down the man himself. Even when not aiming for a massive kill count, I still end up with nearly 700. Chang Fei jumps from class 16 to class 12 and his bodyguards become sergeants. His second stage is Changban. I head north and take out Xiahou Dun and Chang Liao just as fast as I did as Guan Yu. I claim the gates and run west to take out Yu Jin, Xu Huang and Chang He. I loop back through the centre and remove Xiahou Yuan. Then south to take on Cao Hong. Cao Cao's been getting more done in this playthrough and catches up to me around here. I take out Yu Jin in front of him and run off south to capture the gates and take out Xu Chu. I head back to Cao Cao and take out Cao Ren, followed by the man himself. My first clearing of this stage was 38 minutes, now I'm reducing it to 21. Chang Fei reaches class 9 and his bodyguards become majors. There was no Che Bi last time, but it returns in this run as Chang Fei's third stage. I start in the same place Qiao Yun does and move northwest. I empty the shore of soldiers, seize the southwest gate and head up the western boats. Using my true Musou attack, which also adds a fire effect, I take out Xiahou Yuan. Gan Ning steals my kill of Yu Jin as he tries to escape. Head to the northwestern shore and take the centre gate, then east back onto the boats to fight my way south, taking out Li Dian, watching Lu's fire attack succeed and killing Manchong and Cao Pi. I head north to the centre of the map to defeat Chang Liao, Jia Shu and Xu Chu. Officers actually die here as none of Chang Fei's remaining stages have been fighting Wei. Che Bi is as far as they go in his Musou mode. Shun Yu goes down, Xiahou Dun goes down. I head to the southeast and then Xu Huang. I clear out the eastern side and run north back up the centre. Yu Jin is killed, Cao Hong is killed, and Cao Cao is defeated the easiest he has been defeated yet, dropping dead like the others. Chang Fei reaches class 7 and his bodyguards become fighters. With Wei gone from Chang Fei's story, we go more small scale with Chengdu again. Slightly more a pain starting as Chang Fei since they start him all the way in the northeast corner instead of around the centre like Qiao Yun does. I find my way to the centre anyway to get rid of Leng Bao. Then out of the forest and west to take down Li Yan and Liu Xun. I turn back to take the southern route and help out Pang Tong, but he drops dead on the way back. On the way I take down Deng Xian in the forest and take out all the archers. Instead of the south, I take the other centre path east, defeating Liu Han, Chang Ren and several of Liu Chang's strongest soldiers. After them, only Liu Chang is left, so I claim his gate and beat him down too. One of the officers here dropped Chang Fei's third weapon, the Snake Blade. Chang Fei reaches class 6 and can have 4 bodyguards. Stage 5 for Chang Fei is Yi Ling. Rather than run in and get killed, I decide to get his 4th weapon right now. So the hard mode goes back on and I find that like Qiao Yun, it's found at Changban. First, I wipe out most of the officers to keep Liu Bei alive while I do this. This includes Xiahou Dun and Xiahou Yuan, who need to be killed to get the weapon to appear. I then wait on this bridge to the centre east, north of where Xu Chu can be found and south of Chang Fei's starting point. I then wait for an officer to approach, so the cutscene starts showing Chang Fei standing at the bridge and shouting at the approaching enemy. A supply unit then appears from one of the gates to the south. I've seen claims that you need to kill Xiahou Dun and Xiahou Yuan after this, but as you can see here, I killed them before the cutscene and the weapon still appeared. I run south to kill the supply captain and get the weapon, then finish the rest of the stage. I gain the Viper Blade, which has no special elemental attack, just is more powerful than the rest of his weapons. This fight also got Chang Fei to class 5. I equip this weapon and take on Yi Ling. I start in the same location Guan Yu does and go east to take on Lu Meng first like I did as him. Takes about 4 minutes but he goes down first time. This time I head north to try and block off the advance of Lu Xun's unit. I get rid of a big chunk of them but then go east a little more to deal with the approaching Gan Ning. This attempt is the first time he called himself Gan Ning of the Bells, so every time he gave me trouble for the rest of the game I'd think to myself, more like Gan Ning of the Bell Ends, and think myself very witty. Every time. Cho Tai goes down first and Gan Ning joins him a couple minutes later. I destroy the rest of his unit and go all the way west to take down Ding Feng and the gate captain. I realise I let Lu Xun's group go unhindered for too long and they've already made it through Zhuge Stone Formation and are closing in on him and Liu Bei, so I rush south to deal with them. There's a lot. I kill Chu Ran first, followed by Cheng Pu a couple minutes later, then Pan Chang. A couple minutes later, with little health left, I shoot Lu Xun to death. The Shu army advances, but after Lu Xun's unit got to it, it's minuscule compared to what it was last time. I clear out the stone formation but make a massive mistake. I ignored Sun Shangxiang in favour of Lu Xun. I then forgot about her, which led to Liu Bei running off with a mostly dead army, meeting Sun Shangxiang and getting himself killed. Next time I kill Lu Xun right after Liu Meng to put a stop to all that crap. Then Gan Ning, then Ding Feng and Cheng Pu, then a detour through the stone formation to get the dim sum, then take down Sun Shangxiang. By the time I reach Sun Quan myself, the Shu army has wiped out most of his troops, allowing me to swoop in and get the killing blow. Chang Fei reaches class 5 and his bodyguards become warriors. Chang Fei stage 6 is something different with the raid on the rogue fortress. A few characters have these tiny filler stages, smaller than even the usual smaller scale stages. There are 3 different ones and they cannot be played in free mode in the original versions of Dynasty Warriors 3. Chang Fei is riding through the mountains and receives a message warning of the nearby bandit hideout and that citizens nearby wish for it to be dealt with. So Chang Fei decides to wipe them out himself. I start outside the fortress with the 2 doors inside closed. I run along the south end taking out soldiers until the first gate opens and more bandits come pouring out. I head inside and get killing more until the second gate further in opens. But before I go in, I head east and then north to clear out the bandits in this area. It's here I meet my first officer, a generic lieutenant commander. Most of the time these levels don't have playable officers. This one does in Chang Fei's route if you'd notice the units some enemies have been listed under. I take him out and go all the way north to find a dead end and a cutscene where Chang Fei gets lost. I go back and go all the way west and then north to take down another lieutenant commander. I finally go through the second gate I opened and move east and north to clear out the area along with a third lieutenant commander. Then I get lost and it's very embarrassing. I can't find a way to progress further into the fortress. I look everywhere for another door, but there isn't one. 10 minutes later, even giving up and YouTubing it, I discovered there's a set of stairs across from the second gate I went through. I saw it the first time I passed through the second gate and just never registered it. I run along the wall taking out archers until I can jump off the northeastern corner, the only way to get inside. There's another lieutenant commander in here whose death opens up another gate going south. I go through it to meet the bandit leader, Dian Wei, forcing to banditry with Wei defeated and taking the chance to avenge Cao Cao's death at my hands. He's got high defense and loves to block more than anything else, but after I take out all the surrounding soldiers, I just stay aggressive and keep throwing Musou attacks on him and launch combos until he drops dead. Because I took so long thanks to getting lost, I only get a pitiful 800 points. Chang Fei's Musou mode ends earlier than Chao Yun's and Guan Yu's as his stage 7 is the Nanman campaign. I have another chance to try and unlock Meng Huo, but I'll just say now that I fail here as well. Chang Fei starts all the way in the northwest corner, so I head south to take on Wu Tugu's unit. I defeat him and capture the gate directly west of him. The attempt at unlocking Meng Huo fails already as Chao Yun defeats him in his first appearance, so I just keep moving south and take the gate down there. I go east and turn north to clear out the second intersection from the west. This has me running into Meng Huo's second unit and defeating him. They also take down Dong Tunei around here as well. I continue east and clear out the soldiers south of the bridge. Next I go all the way east and south down this path as Meng Huo's third unit advance up it. I defeat Meng Huo again and keep moving south, finding a poison swamp to avoid stepping in and another gate to capture. All the way back to the northern area to take on the fourth Meng Huo. I cross the centre-west bridge south again and capture another gate. I steal a nearby elephant and ram through the walls to the south to take on the 5th Meng Huo. I defeat him once again, this time to get a cutscene where he falls on his face and asks why he just can't win. This also triggers a cutscene where Chu Rong is informed of the warrior giving her husband so much trouble. Meng Huo shows up again in the northern area and I take him down again. He passes out only to wake up on the back of an elephant, having been saved by one of his soldiers. Had Qiao Yun not defeated him first and let me do it, I would be set to unlock Meng Huo as long as I finished the stage. Then I just take on the rest of the stage, steamroll south down the centre east area, taking the 2 gates on the way and Meng Yuo's life. Head west, ignore Chu Rong only for Meng Huo to charge out the castle on an elephant and send me flying. Then get juggled between Chu Rong and Meng Huo's elephant until I can knock him off and get in a good Musou attack to juggle him to death. Chang Fei reaches class 3 and his bodyguards get promoted to guard class. That's 3 down. Change scenes in this ending include Chang Fei drinking with Ma Chao, Zhuge Liang and Jiang Wei chatting next to the passed out Chang Fei, Jiang Wei and Ma Chao checking out Diao Chan as she walks past, Huang Chong patting Ma Chao's shoulder too hard and ending on Chang Fei snoring. Now to max him out. Once again I'll skim over these more than before. 3 runs through Changban get him a set of 8 fully leveled elite guard bodyguards. Another run maxes his attack and defense. I get sick of Changban and try out the yellow turbans instead. I find the wine to increase Musou in the pot against the western wall between the centre and southern gates. The dim sum can be found on the outside of the castle's northern wall, just east of the frozen river. Completion of this run gets Chang Fei to class max. I do a run of Guan Yu's escape which lets me max out Chang Fei's health. Then 8 playthroughs of Mount Dingjun picking up the wine to max Musou, followed by 1 more playthrough of the yellow turbans. Here I get a wind scroll which increases my reach by 5 points. I also max out Chang Fei's points. But that is where I'll be leaving it for now. You may see the length of this video and wonder how long the second part will be with me covering 7 characters. But don't worry, it'll actually be a decent amount shorter with me skimming over repeated content. The plan was to cover each kingdom in one video, and I wrote all of Shu as one. But I knew by the time I'd covered Guan Yu that it just wasn't feasible fitting what would probably end up a 2-hour video, plus what could have been a second 2-hour video next episode for the Wei characters, into my video every 5 day schedule. But anyway, that means the next part will start with me covering Zhuge Liang and last all the way to finishing off Pang Tong.